This week we're pushing the limits of our bodies and our minds and headed to one of the most famous mountain biking destinations in the world, Finale Ligure, Italy.
Can't really see too much out here.
Finale is a breathtaking mountainous town resting on the Ligurian Sea.
Whew.
And not many people know this, but it's commonly known as Whistler by the Sea.
That was cool.
In this video, we're going to learn just how dark and slippery it can actually get in Finale.
Whew. Slippery. Whew. Almost lost it. Slippery rocks.
Ride some of the gnarliest, chunkiest trails Finale has to offer.
Whew. Good stuff.
Continue rating the trails. And even have a few very hard crashes.
Ouch. My hand hurts pretty bad. Right, the palm pad.
Join us on this adventure to see if Finale really deserves to be compared to the world-renowned Whistler Bike Park.
See how the hand loosens up a little bit. It's pretty pissed off.
Today, day 3 in Finale, Italy, we're going to do 8 rides on some serious, slippery, sketchy downhill. We're going to start off with a few blues and then get ourselves into some serious, gnarly, chunky blacks. It's going to be a fun day. Oh, and we both end up on the ground.
Ouch.
Mine being the worst crash I've had the whole trip.
Today we're headed out on a full tour ride from the bike shop with some friends, so should be a fun day. Looks like it could rain though. So here's to having it not rain on us. It's kind of humid, feels like it could rain. Did you guys see that pizza we ate last night? So good. Here we go, another day in Finale.
For Trail 1, we have a blue warm-up trail, but it's not such a warm-up with the slippery, wet conditions.
Ready to go? Whew, trying to get warmed up.
Warming up. So today we are riding with a guide, just like a mixed group. Friend Francie we met in Molini. We got Shauna and a couple people that we just met today. We set it up to the Evolve bike shop. 70 euros for a full day of guiding and shuttles, which is super nice. See? Mojo in the morning. I think it did that. All right. Little morning tumble there on the slippery corner. Nothing major though, so kind of nice to just get it out of the way. But feel okay, kind of a slow side tumble there. Bike seems okay, no big deal.
Can't really see too much out here. Ooh, it's like PNW mist. Trail's in great shape. I feel like it's so different when you're riding with a group versus riding on your own. You're just kind of trying to keep up and maybe not riding quite your best because you're trying to push a little bit harder. I think I need to remember to just ride my own ride.
Let me tell you, these rocks are like ice today.
A little sniper rock in there. Whew, that's fun. Bye.
First half of the trail done, and then we're going to finish it off right now.
Max is fast.
Max is part of the Beast House media team over on YouTube. You should definitely check them out.
A little hesitant at some of these roots and rocks after my earlier tumbles.
Oh, almost on the tree.
Here's the current situation. We've got a couple really fast riders in very wet, gnarly, slippery terrain, and me trying to ride fast and catch up to them. Does not seem like a recipe for success. Whew. Now we've just got this last little bit of trail to finish it off. So this is me riding as fast as I can in a straight line and then slamming on my brakes every time that we have to turn and then trying to ride as fast as I can in a straight line again. And if you'll see right up here, my foot actually comes off slightly as I barely catch myself from falling.
Whew, almost lost it. Off the pedal. Slippery rocks. Gotta look ahead.
This trail looks pretty smooth, but it's deceiving because it's pushing you towards a certain line the whole time, but it's not always the line that you want.
Stay high behind the catch. Whew, that was fun.
For Trail 1, 1.8 miles, 1,200 feet of descent, difficulty of 7 out of 10 because of the slipperiness, and a fun of 7 out of 10. For Trail 2, we have more of the same slippery wet conditions, but can we both stay on our bikes for the whole ride?
Ready? Right, Trail 1115. Ooh, not in good gear. Ooh, can't see and it is dark. You guys probably can't see either.
Ooh, can hardly see. I'm not sure what the camera's doing in here, so we can't see anything. Holy smokes, that's dark.
Ooh, hello tree.
Yeah, props to these guys for riding. It's pretty fast. This is super dark.
Woo!
Pretty greasy.
Oh yeah, not looking ahead. Kind of hard to look ahead when it's so foggy. Can't see much sometimes. Ooh.
The camera actually does a great job of lightening this up. It is so dark and hard to see.
Whew, those are slick. Try not to break on top of the rocks. If you watched our last video, we did a few find your own routes in the last couple days, which was okay, just a little frustrating at times for intersections. It's nice to have days of guiding and missions on your own, which is a super nice thing about riding bikes here. Pretty cool. Seems like there's trees everywhere.
This whole trip is making me feel like I just need to get better at riding fast. So I feel like riding fast isn't that sketchy if you know what you're doing. But if you don't know what you're doing, then it is sketchy.
Anyone can let off the brakes and ride fast, but if you can do it with proper technique, it is a lot safer.
That was cool. Very cool feature. Whew.
Whew. Slippery.
Whew. Nice riding, guys. That was fun. Yeah.
We survived the first half of Ride 2, and now we're going to continue on to the second half to finish it off.
Sneaker line.
Roots. Face. Something in my eye. It's not coming out. Got right eye. Okay, cleared a little bit with some tears. Kind of. Can't really see too good. That was rad.
Like this section of trail wants me to go faster than I want for the current conditions.
As you can tell, Emily is much smarter than me in these conditions.
That's the spot I took the bad line last time, maybe. Wish I had my goggles on. Hasn't cleared up enough. Same line that I took last time.
For Trail 2, more of the same, 1.9 miles, 1,200 feet of descending, difficulty of 7 out of 10. This would be about a 5 in normal conditions and a fun of 7 out of 10.
Whew.
Made it through Ride 2. Now we're on to Ride 3, but we are not letting up with the blue, gnarly, slippery trails. And my luck is about to run out.
Nato-based trail, which has been part of the Enduro World Series almost, well, not every year, but a lot of times apparently. So, cool. It's supposed to be a little bit more rocky than what we had previously, which could probably mean just more slippery or Maybe not.
Dark! So dark in here.
Ooh, kind of a jump thing. Yep. That was cool. Ouch. I'm good.
At this point, I actually have no idea if I'm good.
Are you okay, Joe?
Yeah, I think so. I have no idea what I actually did. I went this line, and then I was going over the bars.
That's what I did yesterday, darling. Welcome to my club.
My hand is not okay, but shaking it should definitely help.
Let me make sure my brakes are all in the right spot. Okay. Well, that was no fun. Thought I was riding pretty good, and then next thing I know, I am over the bars, and my hand does not love that.
What I mean is that my hand is definitely hurting. If we break the video down to really slow motion, we can see that my right hand gets bent back in a way that it probably didn't like.
I'm gonna be riding a little bit more cautious through here. See how the hand loosens up a little bit. It's pretty pissed off, I gotta say. But it's not keeping me from riding, I don't think.
At least as long as I don't crash again.
Whew. So there was a rock section and I hopped over it, and next thing I knew I was going over the bars, and I honestly don't know what happened. Yeah, hand's a little sore, but I'm okay.
I'm like trying to set myself up so I don't have to brake on the rocks. Changes a bit and then everything's
Fortunately for me and my wounded hand, the rocks and bumps just keep on coming. And how about we add in some drops?
Ooh, it is slippery on that rock.
All right, I think the hand is loosening up a little bit.
Trying to find spots where I can really try and not brake on the rock or on top of the rock. It seems safer.
Just for a second there, I was like, oh man, I don't know if it's gonna be rideable for the rest of the day, but thank goodness for all the training. Whew. These guys are fast.
By the training, I mean all of the workouts that we do off of the bike.
Phew.
Which 100% helps with injury prevention when we do crash on our bikes.
You!
Bad line.
Good stuff.
That's it for the first half of the trail, and we are going to get to finishing the second half right now.
Nice rock roll. Yeah, that was good.
Fortunately for me, this second half of the trail is full of roots, rocks, and drops. Perfect.
Jeez.
My hand is really starting to tighten up, and I'm having a really hard time gripping the bars and the brakes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep riding.
Straight line in it. Whew. On a high note, my bike's riding really nicely. That's great. I like that a lot. Yeah, riding fast. I hear you back there.
Last year we did that together. You won't remember. I will remember for the rest of my life.
You're a little speedster right now.
Our guide just got done warning us how gnarly this next section is, and at this point, lunch cannot come fast enough for me.
Me too.
I've never this up.
Whoa!
I thought there was going to be like a gap that we had to hop over or something. Yeah, nice, Shona.
Wrapping up trail number 3, 2 miles, 1,200 feet at ascending, a difficulty of 8 out of 10. Again, conditions and a fun of 7 out of 10.
My hand hurts pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In your palm?
Right, the palm pad.
Just as my hand is reaching the pinnacle of the pain, we are on to ride 4 and the longest trail of the day.
Let's go! Very wet up here.
This mud is slippery today. I'd like to stay up with them so I can see the lines. My thumb pad is not happy.
Basically, my thumb got bent back so far that it really stretched the muscle that, well, helps my thumb work. And you need your thumb to grip the bars, so that's what I'm feeling right now.
So much for keeping up, I guess. Ooh, kind of hurts turning to the right.
So pretty back here though. Looks extra green in the wet.
See if I can still move my bike with my hand like this. Come on.
Alright. Riding Ingegnere for the first time. Woohoo! Came a little whoopie, a little hot.
This Ingegnere trail is fun, and it is so hard to not push and ride fast.
Oh man. Come on.
Whew.
Just gotta keep breathing, you know? It's more fun when you breathe. That's what I found. A little bit of an unexpected butt buzzing right there. I think that when it gets wet, I might be leaning a little bit too much in the turns rather than pushing my bike over. Those are tough lines because it like pushes you to the outside right there, and then you kind of like slide to the outside for the most part. Oh, got my butt wet. And my legs. Oop, and my tires apparently. Jeez. Also still riding without the old goggles on.
Goggles are great until it gets wet and dark, and then it just contributes to you not being able to see very well.
Oh, it's a big one! Oh, big splash.
I am riding this way faster than I should be with a hurt hand, but it sure is hard to not try and keep up with the lead pack.
That'll work. Nope. You know, I think the toughest part about coming back from a crash is you don't know why you crashed. You're trying to think about why it happened, and then you're sketched out a bit about it. Oop, that could have been bad. Pretty fortunately gave way from my hand. I feel like a lot of what I have to do is ride like lighter on the bike. You know? Not fight the bike as much, just put it where it needs to be.
This trail's been really fun. It's like very swooping, and I would highly recommend everything we've ridden today so far. Even with a little bit of wetness, still very, very fun. I think it would be super fun to come back when they're a little drier.
Slow and smooth, smooth as fast. Keep it fun and easy. Hope that my hand doesn't hurt too much. If I can keep these guys inside at all, I'm having a good time. Still just barely see them.
This trail is such a fun combination of turns, chunk, drops. You can really push yourself through it, and it feels like you're becoming a better rider as you do.
Nice drop.
These walls remind us so much of riding in Madeira. If you didn't check out that video series, you definitely should. It was one of the prettiest places we've ever ridden.
Come on. Better break it.
Wow, talk about some steep flowy turns. This is crazy. Fortunately or unfortunately, it didn't last for long. I would say this is kind of like the classic finale. They get you all excited with these flowy turns and then throw you into some gnarly, chunky, hard to navigate stuff like this.
That was quite a bit of a spicy rock climb.
Did you see that? Smooth, flowy, and then here we go again. Chunky, hard to navigate rocks.
Whew, still kind of spicy.
And that'll do it for trail number 4. 5.9 miles, 2,000 feet of descending, difficulty of 8 out of 10 due to all the rocks, and a fun of 8 out of 10.
Yeah, that was fun. It didn't get a lot easier after that.
That was fun.
It was sketchy, huh?
Yeah, just the like the side off-camera entrance.
So you can see.
Finally, we made it to lunch. Check out this amazing view. Pasta was great, and we even had some kitties to play with. For Trail 5, we're continuing to step things up. As if we haven't had chunky enough already, we are going to a black, super chunky trail.
Yeah. This trail is Bianca. We just had a lovely lunch in a nice little restaurant in a village, and now this is the first ride after lunch. So we got the pasta and coffee power rolling around in our belly. A little bouncy here. Trail is in great shape right now, not nearly as wet as the other stuff. Sun's come out a little bit too. Things dry out pretty fast if they're in certain parts of the woods here.
Honestly, wasn't sure if my hand was gonna make it off to that first part, but so far it feels okay. Ooh. Those are the things I don't really like. Also, there's some tight corners, so I'm not sure how those are gonna be. Hopefully, okay.
Tight corners are definitely hurting. You have to push your inside hand down into the corner, and that's right on that injured pad.
Phew, that was cool. Loaded.
We just had flow, so what comes up next? Tons of chunky, hard to navigate rocks.
Whew.
Inside line. Very slow inside line. It's nice when you have like a steep rocky section and it's a little slippery, but you can see that there's like a catch at the bottom.
This is where I've got the slow, slippery rocks, and I'm looking for the catch, but the catch is another slow, slippery rock. There's the catch way down there, right here.
Yeah.
This is very steep and very slippery.
Little butt buzzer there.
Those corners were super fun. Having been in Molini, it made those seem way more approachable. We hadn't ridden all that steep stuff, / walked all that steep stuff in Molini in the last week. I think I would have not attempted some of those corners on the first ride through, so it's super cool to just be able to ride into stuff like that and feel like you have the ability and it's in your wheelhouse and like be able to try and then succeed. So feel like definitely improving some skills here. Oh, that was cool.
Absolutely nothing like popping out and riding through these towns. It is so cool.
Wrapping up Trail 5, 2.6 miles, 900 feet of descending, a difficulty of 8 out of 10. Those turns were tough and a fun of 7 out of 10. And on to trail number 6, another black trail that has drops, tons of flow, and the chunkiest, gnarliest section we've ridden all day coming up at the end.
There are some step downs.
The little Champery trail, fast, flowy, but that can come to bite you in the butt because you can get out of control real easy.
I feel like my brake levers might be in the wrong spot. A little bit too low for me right now. Maybe they got whacked on the shuttle or something. Kind of like my brake levers quite high.
Speaking of brakes, Emily and I are both running the TRP DHR Evos. Yep, that's a mouthful. But they are super strong and powerful, have tons of modulation, and are really great to work on, which is awesome when traveling.
Little butt buzzer there.
As long as you can keep yourself from getting out of control and flying off the edge, this section is super fun and super flowy to just try and hit these little jumps and drops and get in the zone.
And it's feeling a lot better, let's say.
This section is so cool.
Ooh, yuck. Ooh.
That one dropped out from me a little bit. Ooh, that was fun.
That was super fun.
This little section is one of the sketchiest of the whole trip. Thank goodness they have guardrails. And the really crazy thing is, if that features a 9 out of 10, the rest of this trail, to finish it off, is an 8 out of 10. It just keeps throwing the rocks and the steepness at you over and over and over.
This continues to be gnarly.
And that'll do it for trail number 6, 1.7 miles, 800 feet of descending, difficulty of 9 out of 10. That was super sketchy and a fun of 9 out of 10. It was also very fun.
Did it.
Hand is feeling quite a bit better than it was, so that's great. Still super swollen. You can't tell without taking my gloves off, and I'm not going to do that right now, but this right here is just pretty swollen. But at least now I'm able to grip. Earlier I wasn't able to grip very good. I'll take it. It's awesome.
For trail number 7, we're going to do a quick and fast trip down the Pino Morto trail. Wish us luck. We rode Pino Morto on our last ride and found it to be super fun, super chunky, and a little bit dangerous. So now we're going to naturally ride it faster. This trail is actually a less popular trail in the Finale area because of how you have to get to it. But if you get a chance, definitely ride it. It is incredibly fun.
Almost grabbed my foot.
Quick one for trail number 7, 0.8 miles, 500 feet of descending, difficulty of 7 out of 10, and a fun of 8 out of 10. That is a good one.
Woo! Kept up with you for a little bit for some good footage.
And on to our last trail of the day. We're going to get into a little blue, little green, and then ride by a castle, which is so cool.
Super cool.
This Pian Marino trail starts off super chunky and is going to test us to get to our castle ride.
Merch. Ciao. Can you see our Airbnb?
These are the kind of things that are just so amazing and you do not get to experience when you're riding in the United States.
Coming back into town. Super cool.
And that'll do it for our last ride. 4 miles, 1,100 feet of descending, difficulty of 3, and a fun of 10 out of 10. You don't get stuff like this very often. The hand isn't looking too bad, and we're going to finish off the day with some Italian gelato. When I say we, I mean Emily. And that'll do it for today's video. If you like these videos, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. It totally helps out the channel. On our next video, we are going to tackle the last day of riding in Finale with an amazing tour where we get to ride some of the trails we've already ridden faster, harder, and that definitely makes it more sketchy. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a fantastic rest of your day.